So welcome back to the channel. Today I have the same 2021 Ram Cummins, and behind it I have a HEMI. So in the last video I told you why this HEMI was better than this Cummins, and today I'm going to show you why this HEMI doesn't compare to this Cummins motor. Let's get into it. This should be pretty fun. Really quickly, be sure to subscribe to JB Reviews and make sure you have those bell notifications on, and be sure to check out my other channel, Attainable Exotic Cars. Now let's get back to the video. Now the first reason why the Cummins is better than this HEMI is because, well, it's a diesel. And the reason why that's important is because diesel fuel has more energy and it takes longer for it to burn, so it's going to get better fuel economy in comparison than with this HEMI. Now most people might say gas engine has gotten a lot better in terms of fuel economy, and that is true. And if you were to decide to delete your truck, I have heard guys getting off of this setup about 25 to 26 miles to the gallon with a deleted truck, and towing probably about 12 to 13 mpgs. Now obviously if you are cruising with this truck with the unfortunate emissions, you can get 20 to 22 mpgs. I think the best I've been able to get out of a HEMI was about 16 to 17 in comparison there. Another thing is the HEMI does require 89 or higher octane, and that's going to give it its best performance. And the reason why you'd want to use it is because if you use 87 or even lower, the engine has to pull time, therefore you're going to hear more knocking in the engine, and obviously you don't want to do that. So your 89 or higher fuel is going to cost more and it's going to burn faster, so the diesel is a clear winner there. The second reason why the Cummins is a better option than the HEMI is because it's a torque monster. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. This is what they call the legendary Cummins. This is a 6.7 liter turbo diesel. It has forced induction. It has the best fuel system in the world, especially for 2021 because it went back to a CP3. But this is going to be good for 370 horsepower, 850 pound-feet of torque. And if that's not enough for you, they offer a high output Cummins, which is going to give you the Eisen transmission, which is great for towing, and it's going to have 1,075 pound-feet of torque, 420 horsepower. Let's check out the HEMI real quickly. This is going to be your 6.4 liter HEMI. It's going to be good for 410 horsepower, 429 pound-feet of torque. So right out of the gate, it's not going to be able to put down the amount of torque that this Cummins motor behind me is going to be able to put out. The Cummins is just the better way to go. When you're towing upgrades, I mean, this truck is going to just get the job done. I mean, let's just be honest here too. If you get a 3500 1-ton Cummins, you would also get a higher gross axle weight rating out back, and your towing capacity would go up substantially. So if you are looking to tow a 17,000 pound trailer, this truck is going to do the trick a lot better than this HEMI equipped truck over here. And figure your towing capacity is probably going to top out around 17,000 pounds, whether you get a 2,500 or 3,500. Now let's be honest here. You can tow 20,000 pounds all you want, but nothing is more important than stopping. Let's just be clear here. If you want a truck that's going up 6% grade, by all means, I think the HEMI can tow a considerable amount of weight. Most people aren't towing 20,000 pounds, right? So figure most people are going to be using their trucks to do about maybe 12,000 max in a lot of cases, maybe up to 16,000, but most people are towing less than 16,000 pounds for sure. But the biggest issue with towing that much weight with any truck is stopping it, or at least slowing it down, going down a 6% grade. So that's my next point. The diesel engine is going to win this battle hands down, and the reason why is not only will the transmission give you engine braking when you put it into a haul mode, but they also give you what is called a full exhaust brake and an automatic exhaust brake. So these exhaust brakes are pretty similar in the way that they work, but the biggest benefit is when you take your foot off the brake, when you have on full exhaust brake, that's going to allow the truck to start to come to a stop. And what it does is the exhaust brake uses the turbo and it builds up back pressure in the exhaust, therefore it gives you engine braking. And then if you were to put it in automatic mode, if you tap the brakes, it comes on for you. It does pretty much the same thing as full exhaust brake, which is start to have the truck reduce its speed. And to add on to that, if you have it in tow haul mode, you also have that braking as well from the transmission. So in my opinion, I think that if you're looking to tow a heavy trailer, even if you get a 3500 HEMI and you can tow 16,000 pounds since you have a little bit more payload capacity, this is the way to go in having this exhaust brake, because it does come in handy, especially when your brakes start getting hot. It's good to be able to let that exhaust brake, keep your speed for you, as opposed to you using your brakes more to, have to stop the truck. So let's talk about the hot shotters out there, or people that are towing a lot, maybe towing 50, 60,000 miles a year, driving the truck maybe even 100,000 miles a year, who knows. When you think about oil changes, if you're driving a lot throughout the year, the last thing you want to do is be getting oil changes frequently, right? And because this has a turbocharged engine, odds are the oil is going to get broken down a lot more quicker in comparison. But rest assured, this Cummins on this side has a 15,000 mile oil change interval, which is my fourth point. This HEMI on this side has an 8,000 mile oil change interval. So if you're doing hot shot, odds are you're not going to probably use this truck, one, because of fuel, but the other reason is because you're going to go a lot longer on the oil changes. And typically when you're getting those oils changed, you're getting the transmission fluid change at the same time. So they put them together, so that way you don't have to worry about going on different ends of the spectrum there. So I like the fact that you do save some money there. And another thing is, let me show you the spark plugs for the Cummins. I hope you know that was a joke, right? That was a joke. But the HEMI does have spark plugs. So this is another maintenance item that you're going to have to deal with. I believe at every 80,000 miles, you have to change the spark plugs. So that's another thing you don't have to worry about when it comes down to maintenance for the Cummins. My last point of why the Cummins is better than the HEMI is 100% resale value, and it could be potentially the last truck you ever have to buy. So when you think about this truck in terms of mileage, if I were in the market 10 years from now for a truck and you had a Cummins and a HEMI with 250,000 miles on it, which one are you probably going to lean more towards buying? 9 times out of 10 is probably going to be the Cummins. And the reason why is because diesel engines are built for long-term usage. They have very, very overbuilt parts. When you think about, just even on this truck, this has a compacted graphite iron block, which is lightweight and very strong. I mean, these trucks typically have cast iron, things like that. And so the way that they build a gas engine in comparison with a diesel engine, this truck is going to outlive the gasoline engine. Now, there are some gas examples out there that have gotten 800 to 1 million miles on them, but you see a lot more frequently these trucks 4, 5, 6, 700,000 miles on them. And most of the guys are not really rebuilding the engines that much. And that's with the emissions crap that comes in these trucks as well. So when I think about longevity and resale value, you don't hear a lot of people talking about the Magnum engines from back in the day from Dodge. You hear them talking about the Cummins. So I do believe this is the last truck you'll ever have to buy. And I think it's the truck that most of us are probably going to look for when we can afford them, right? But hey guys, thank you so much for your time and watching this video. Be sure to like this one for me. Subscribe to my channel if you like the video and like the channel. And I'll see you guys real soon.